it more?
In.
In?
Uh-huh.
I understand handy with the marks points to the end. Please identify what I just handed you.
Domain registration.
How many domains do you own that have Mr. Crier's name in them?
None at the moment, I don't think.
How many domains have you ever owned with Mr. Crier's name in it?
Maybe 2 or 3, I think. I don't remember.
What was the purpose of you obtaining domain names with Mr. Crier's name in it?
To post those videos.
Would you agree that you obtained these domains for the purpose of harassing Mr. Crier?
No.
Would you agree that So is it your contention that posting those videos online was not done for the purpose of harassing Mr. Crier?
No.
What was the purpose of posting the videos using Mr. Crier domain names?
Just to let everybody know what kind of person he was. And how I was in the Austin County Sheriff's Department, how they don't do anything.
Why did you wait over a year to post these things on Facebook? Let me just state that. Why did you wait a full year after Sparky was shot before posting these things about Mr. Crier on social media?
I was busy moving his wife. So.
Fanny was been marked as Points Exhibit O. This is a screenshot taken from one of the Facebook pages. Is that correct?
Yes, it appears to be so.
In this, it states, Chad Birdie states, I was warned by Austin County Sheriff that it was illegal to shoot my dog. You then state, I was warned by a neighbor as well. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Why did you ignore these warnings?
I didn't ignore him.
How so?
Because I didn't ignore him. I don't know how I can explain that. I try to keep him over there, I guess. Is what I should say.
And it was your testimony earlier that you, in fact, gave Mr. Crier permission to shoot your dogs on his property. Is that correct?
I don't know if I specifically said it, but I mean, yeah, I was aware of it.
At any point in time, was there an incident involving you and Mr. Crier and your wife in front of the sheriff wherein you stated that he should shoot the dogs if they were on his property?
I'm pretty sure we told him at some point for him to go ahead and shoot the dogs so maybe he would just, we wouldn't have any more problems, basically, yeah.
For that to be the case, why would you then later post videos of Mr. Crier in fact shooting the dogs?
Because that's what he did.
Any was been marked as Points Exhibit P. Left side, and this is marked Rohde 0087. It's a post from Mr. Crier stating, I am the so-called monster that you speak of. I shot this dog because it was eating my chickens. Is that a true statement?
I don't know for a fact. I don't know for a fact if that's true or not. I never saw him eating chicken, so I can't tell you if that's true. I think it's false.
I will refer you back to
He had a chicken.
Plaintiff's Exhibit. What is this? If you'll go up to July 24th at 10:21 p.m., you state, "My son's rescue puppy was killed by my neighbor for eating his chickens." Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
So here on Facebook, you're representing that the dog was shot because he was eating Mr. Crier's chickens. Is that correct?
I'm saying, yeah, that's what he said. He told me. I don't know if he actually ate the chickens. Is what I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah, he shot him because of that.
Sir, does this post state that does it have the qualifier that that's what Mr. Marlin stated, or do you simply state, "My son's rescue puppy was killed by my neighbor for eating his chickens"?
Right. I mean, that's what he said. That was the reason why he shot him, and that's what the post says.
Sir, does this post anywhere state that that's what Mr. Crier said?
No. I didn't say Mr. Crier said he was shooting or eating my chickens.
Sir, is it not true that here on this Facebook post you are representing that the reason Mr. Crier shot your dog was because he was eating your chickens?
Yes, that's correct.
So when I ask you, when Mr. Crier states, "I shot this dog because it was eating my chickens," is it your testimony that that is not a true statement?
I think it's false, yes.
So over here, when you stated what is this?
L?
So when on Exhibit L, where you state on Facebook, "My son's rescue puppy was killed by my neighbor for eating its chickens," you're in fact stating a false statement?
Yeah, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. And, yeah, I think that is a false statement. I was just saying what he said and what the police report said. That's what I was going by. But what I think happened, no. And what I know now, no.
What do you know now?
I haven't seen any evidence that he ate the chicken. That's what I know.
Sir, did we or did we not?
He had the chicken in his mouth.
Photograph of the chicken in his mouth.
He had the chicken in his mouth. He didn't eat the chicken.
What's the difference between eating the chicken and having the chicken in his mouth?
Well, I should say halfway in his mouth. A lot of difference. There's a difference between life and death. I didn't see a dead chicken.
Do you understand that the law states that he can legally shoot the dog if it's attacking his livestock?
I think that's the way it reads, yes.
So it doesn't read kill the livestock, it reads attacking the livestock. Is that correct?
Yes.
So this difference you're making is irrelevant. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
He wasn't attacking it. He wouldn't do anything to it. Not from those pictures, at least. I didn't see any blood. What's the difference between attacking and playing with it?
Going back to Exhibit P, Mr. Crier goes on to state, "I offered to build this neighbor of mine a fence to keep his dogs off his property." Is that true?
Yes.
He states, "I offered to pay for a fence to be built if this neighbor would rather have someone else build it." Is that true?
I think so, yes.
He states, "I do regret shooting the dog and sincerely wish another route was taken." Do you believe that to be true?
No. I take that back. I think now he might regret it. I don't think at that point he did.
"This neighbor of mine has been filming me for years." Is that true?
No. Well, maybe I guess if it was past a year and a day, then it would be years. I guess I don't know how long it was. Whenever you said I was putting up cameras
At one point, he had 27 high-definition cameras pointing at my house and yard, as well as one pointing at my bedroom window. Is that correct?
No.
But is it a true statement that you did, in fact, have a camera pointing in his bedroom window?
No, not in his bedroom window.
What do you mean, sir?
Well, I mean, I don't have a camera pointing specifically at his bedroom window. There's probably 3 cameras that might have covered all of his or half of his house windows. So no pointed in it. No reason to look in his window.
Remaining has been marked as points to the Q. If you would please flip to the 7th page.
No.
What is this picture showing?
A fence and a camera and some trees.
Is this one of your cameras?
Yes.
Would you agree that this camera is pointing directly at the camera taking this picture?
It looks like it, yeah.
I represent to you that this picture was taken from Mr. Crowder's bedroom. Are you disputing this?
Could be. I don't know.
Based on this photograph, would you agree that it appears that you are, in fact, have cameras pointed into Mr. Crowder's bedroom?
I don't know where the bedrooms were, but I'm just saying, yeah, if that's where the picture is taken, then sure. It looks like it's pointed at it.
Did you ever represent to Mr. Crowder that you could see inside his bathroom?
Yeah, I jokingly told him that one time.
Or did Mr. Crowder on a joking basis at the time that you told him that?
I don't know what you would call it. I don't even remember when I told him that, but I do remember saying something like that.
All right, we're going back to the plaintiff's exhibit P. Continuing the same thread, Mr. Crowder states he has contacted my work and attempted to have me fired. Is that a true statement?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a true statement that you contacted his work?
I contacted the company that owns his company or whatever it was that he worked for, I guess.
Mr. Crowder continues to state he has bought the domain names of my first and last name.com and .net. Is that a true statement?
That's correct.
He created a website on MerlinCrowder.com and started blogging lies about me. Is that correct?
No.
There are two sides of the story, and I'm more than willing to tell my side. Unfortunately, I'm at work and don't have time to defend myself. I will be judged by God for what I did, and I accept that. Feel free to humiliate me all you want. This is nothing to me. Then he states, this guy's been bullying me online for 2 years now. Do you agree with that statement?
What did it say? Blogging me online?
We're on this one.
Oh.
The bottom he states, this guy's been bullying me online for 2 years. Do you agree with that statement?
What page are you on?
The first page. Left side.
Oh, okay. Blogging? No, I don't even know what blogging means. I haven't been blogging anybody. I don't have a blog.
So I'm referring to the last full sentence. It says, this guy's been bullying me online for 2 years now.
This guy had the... Oh, bullying. I'm sorry. No. I mean, I never bullied him online at all. He was posting videos.
Were those videos flattering of Mr. Crowder?
Don't appear to be, in my opinion, no.
If you look at the right side of plaintiff's exhibit P, based on Rohde 0088, the second full post is from Mr. Crowder. It states, no animal control in my county, unfortunately. What's sad is this guy and his wife told me to just shoot the dog in front of the constable when I called the police at one point. Don't believe me, ask Deputy Roos. Was this a true statement?
Yes.
You would flip to the third page of plaintiff's exhibit P. The right side. Rohde 0092. Chad Rohde states, well, you sound like you have a lot of info to back up Merlin's side. Then you state, not many other people that I know of are willing to do that. Isn't that because there aren't many people who know the full story?
No.
How many people have you told that Mr. Crowder warned you 7 times that he would hurt your dogs if you failed to secure them on your own property?
Specifically 7 times? No, none.
How many people have you told that Mr. Crowder repeatedly threatened your dogs if you refuse to keep them off his property?
I don't know.
One?
One one time.
How many people?
Oh, I don't know.
Have you ever told anyone that Mr. Cryer repeatedly warned you that he would hurt your dogs?
It's right there on Facebook. I told them. Every one of those persons that's put one post on there and said everybody, hey, he warned me, the police warned me, then yes. And I'm sure I've told plenty of other people personally.
But no one on Facebook did you say that he warned you numerous times, did you?
No. Warned means numerous to me.
Would you agree, sir, that if you state he warned me gives a different impression than he warned me numerous times?
I don't go either way for me. It's a matter of opinion, I guess.
If you would flip to the last page. Rohde 0094. This is a text message from Mr. Cryer to you on January 7th, 2016. Look here, you pussy-ass piece of shit. You're a fucking low-life coward. To attempt to scare me by using your fucking truck of all things and floor it like you're going to run me over is pathetic. If you hate me so bad, just run me over and get it over with. You obviously are afraid to get out and do something. But since my mother just told me you did the same thing no less than 30 seconds later, you should be afraid. I've already warned you about my fucking with my family. You just crossed that line. I dare you to approach me like a fucking man, you punk fucking coward. And this was a text message from Mr. Cryer to you? What is he referring to?
Apparently, me trying to run him over with a truck.
Why are you attempting to run Mr. Cryer over with your truck?
It wasn't.
Are you disputing that this happened?
Yes.
At any point, have you ever attempted to intimidate Mr. Cryer's mother with your truck?
No.
Did you ever respond to this text from Mr. Cryer stating you did not intend to do this?
I don't think so. To respond to something I didn't do.
Is it your contention today that Mr. Cryer is making this incident up?
Yes.
Would you agree this text is pretty specific with the facts?
No.
So it's your contention that it's ambiguous with the facts?
I don't know what that word means, but yeah, I don't think that's what happened at all. I think I was driving down the road, and yes, that's what he makes up, that I was trying to run both of them over.
Have you ever attempted to intimidate Mr. Cryer with your truck?
No. Oh, yes, I have.
Explain.
When he came into town to our new house, I followed him back. You call that intimidation?
How many times have you followed Mr. Cryer in your truck?
Twice. No, I'll take that back to one time. Well, no, I didn't really follow him. I was looking for him when he was on his motorcycle.
So the entire history of this feud, you've only followed Mr. Cryer twice in your truck?
From what I can recall, yes.
That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
From what I can recall, yes.
Is there any reason that you sit here today unable to recall anything?
Because there was a lot of incidents.
Are you on any pharmaceuticals today?
No.
Have you ever been to rehab?
No.
Have you ever had a substance abuse problem?
No.
Have you ever taken methamphetamines?
No.
What is it?
Different. It's a different book. Right here.
That's not it either. What about it? Oh, it's okay. Picture one, flip to the front. The one in your left hand. Ah, okay. For now, now referring to what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit
Q.
Q. On the right side it says fundraisers for fur babies. Are you familiar with this post?
Yes.
Is this something you posted?
No.
Are you aware of who did post this?
Yes.
And who is that?
Jennifer Goins.
How do you know Miss Goins?
She was a friend of one of my in-laws.
States, this monster must be stopped. Please share, tag, and cross-post this drive. The police have done nothing. There's more than enough evidence to put this sick SOB behind bars. This drive contains police reports, surveillance videos, vet reports, and more. Warning, picture very graphic. I'm sorry to post
Slow
it.
down.
I'm sorry. That's too much talking. From the top, July 18th at 9:23 p.m. States, this monster must be stopped. Please share, tag, and cross-post this drive. The police have done nothing, and there is more than enough evidence to put this sick SOB behind bars. This drive contains police reports, surveillance videos, vet reports, and more. Warning, the pics are very graphic. I'm sorry to post this, but if it's hard on you, just imagine how hard it was for the family living this nightmare. Austin County Sheriff's Department has done nothing to protect this family or their fur babies. Why the hell not? Why is this demented psycho, Merlin Cryer, free to continue taunting families and murdering defenseless animals? These videos show Merlin Cryer calling one of Chad and that's the end of it.
Well, then posted somewhere, isn't it? On one of my deals I actually put in there. That's just your screenshot, right?
No, I don't know. So this is somebody you know through your in-laws?
That's correct.
Was this the sort of response that you were hoping for when you posted these things on social media?
I don't really know what I was hoping for, but I don't have a problem with it.
Were you pleased with this response?
I'd say so, yeah.
Would you agree that you incited a social media mob to riot against Mr. Cryer?
That I agreed?
Do you agree that you, in fact, did incite a social media mob to riot against Mr. Cryer?
No.
How so?
He incited it.
Did he post these things on social media?
No, he shot the dog.
The dog that you told him to shoot, is that correct?
That's correct.
Did you ever post anywhere on Facebook that you told him to shoot the dog?
I don't think so. I don't remember. Probably not. Actually, I don't know. I can't remember. I'd have to go and study all these stuff up. So whatever it says on there, that's what I said.
Flip to the third page. This is a screenshot from your Facebook post dated July 20th at 5:52 p.m. Is this animal cruelty? Picture taken by my neighbor on July 12th, 2013 at 12:53 p.m. Is that correct?
Yes.
And this is the same situation we discussed earlier where you have no idea how this situation was resolved. Is that correct?
Resolved? No. Yeah, I don't know. He said, Merlin said he got loose.
What exactly is cruel about him tying an animal up and then contacting you immediately to tell you, I've tied your dog up?
Tied him up in the middle of the day in the heat with no water and no shade. It's cruel. That's what the law states.
Which law is that, sir?
The animal cruelty law.
Isn't it true that he immediately notified you that he tied your dog to this post?
I don't know. He notified me whenever he sent me the text message. I don't know how long he was there. Wasn't it on?
But you weren't so concerned that you then left work to get your dog, did you?
No, I didn't leave work right at that minute. Like can't.
But your dog is sitting in 102-degree weather, sir, and you just testified that this was animal cruelty, yet you did nothing yourself to stop the animal cruelty that's happening. Isn't that correct, sir?
That's correct.
So wouldn't you yourself be just as guilty of animal cruelty?
No.
How so?
If I've got something more important to do, I can't. That's it. I mean, that isn't.
So the reason that you didn't stop this animal cruelty is because you had something more important going on.
That's the reason why. Yeah, I didn't come home and get my dog.
Who was in fact being cruelly treated here.
Correct. What was I going to do? Go trespass on his property to get the dog? Couldn't have done anything anyway.
Well, if you're so concerned that your dog is in 102-degree weather, it seems to me that you would take some action to stop this from happening, you know?
Yeah, I would like to, yeah.
But you just testified that you, in fact, did nothing on this day
I couldn't.
to resolve this.
I couldn't do anything. Martin even texted me, I don't recommend you to trespass on my property to get him.
Did you call your wife and have her go get him?
Why would I send my wife over there?
Because your dog's being treated cruelly.
Yeah, she tells me not to go over there just like I tell her not to go over there because we don't know what the heck he was going to do.
So when your dog is on Mr. Pryor's property, what exactly is he supposed to do to get him off your property?
Untie him, leave him alone. Just don't pet him and play with him and feed him. He wouldn't have been over there.
So is it your testimony today that you take no responsibility for your dog being in this position on this day?
I take responsibility.
Did you take responsibility on Facebook?
Yeah, I took responsibility, I think. I don't know if I specifically said it. I said, I'm going to go back and look.
I'm referring to this July 20th at 5:52 post asking, is this animal cruelty?
Oh, right there on that post? No. I was asking for animal cruelty. That's all I was doing. I wasn't saying it was animal cruelty at that point.
Well, as you sit here today, sir, do you believe this to be animal cruelty?
Yes. There's no thing in law asking a question about something. I wasn't saying it was animal cruelty.
I'm sorry, just say that again.
I didn't know there was a law against asking a question if it was animal cruelty, but yes, I considered it animal cruelty. I wanted to see what other people thought.
Isn't it true that you are in fact implying that Mr. Cryer was responsible for this animal cruelty?
Yeah, I don't know.
In the second sentence here, sir, you state picture taken by my neighbor. Who are you referring to when you say my neighbor?
Well, I was referring to Merlin Cryer.
So the gist of this post would in fact be that Merlin Cryer is cruel to animals. Is that correct?
That's what I was asking.
Sir, I'm not asking what you're asking. I'm stating.
Well, yeah, because it was animal cruelty, so that's what the post looked like. I mean, wasn't changing the fact of what it was. I wasn't even giving my opinion. But yeah, that's what it looks like, and that's what it is.
Was Mr. Cryer arrested for animal cruelty?
Not that I know of.
Did you report this to the sheriff's department?
No, I don't think at that time, no.
So it was animal cruelty, but it wasn't severe enough for you to actually report it.
I think we had quit reporting stuff at that time. I don't know. We'd given up on the sheriff's. I don't know.
So this occurred in July 2013, whereas the majority of your sheriff reports occurred after this. Do you agree?
bunch of them after it.
Well, sir, did you not just testify that at this point you'd given up on reporting things to the sheriff?
Yeah, because there was a bunch of them before that.
Did you not just say that there also were a bunch after that?
I said I don't know how many were after that. I said we had probably given up on the sheriff's department at that time.
Had you in fact given up on the sheriff's department at that time?
I think we'd given up on a long time before that.
Yet you continue to file sheriff's reports. Is that
That's
correct?
what they told us to do. There's a bunch of them that they didn't even report. Each time we called, they wouldn't even come out.
Would you please specifically say everything you've done to harass Mr. Carr?
Would you say? Repeat that?
Would you please say each and every incident? Let's strike that. Please state for the record each and everything you've done to harass Mr. Carr.
Well, I guess running over his trees.
We'll come back to that. If you would, with this exhibit here.
Which same?
You see the front? You see the front.
Q.
We're referring to exhibit Q. The page after this one, the page after the ponds on the railroad tracks. Can you please identify what this is?
Email to tracks
From
me.
Second paragraph states, since the time of writing the two versions, one dog was found dead on railroad tracks by none other than our neighbor, which he stole 4 times previously but recovered each time. Is that a true statement?
Yes.
Sir, earlier testimony was that he stole the dog 3 times. Now you're stating that it's 4 times. What's the correct number?
4 times.
So did you forget about the 4th time earlier when you stated each and every time that you took the dog?
There's a lot of stuff I forget about, yeah.
Sir, do you recall earlier specifically stating the 3 incidents that he took the dog?
Yes.
What's the 4th incident that you forgot?
I probably was just referring to when he just takes him and puts him in the garage. Yes, I don't remember. I don't recall.
In this same paragraph, you go on to state 1 time involved, paying a reward. Then you state we had a necropsy done, and he obviously was hit by a train, but must have been sleeping on the tracks.
Right.
Is that a true statement?
Yes, that's what I stated.
So here, in this email to Travis Kane, how do you say that?
Kane, yeah.
Who was who? The DA?
Yes.
You're representing that the dog obviously was hit by the train, correct?
Yes.
So then now is it your testimony that Hans was in fact hit by the train?
I never denied that.
Continue saying, we also have more videos of him blaring obscene rap music all night long with the radio on the property line, and when he dumped a bucket of feces all over our front porch while we were not there. With regards to this bucket of feces, was it your dog's feces?
Yeah, there's a couple pieces of it was ours.
How many pieces were there, sir?
I don't know. You got the picture, I can tell you.
And out of that pile of feces, you were able to identify certain ones that belong to your dog? Is that what you were stating today?
Yes.
What was the purpose of the security camera, sir?
Catch trespassers, seeing where my dogs are at.
How many trespassers have you caught?
1, 2 actually.
Who are they?
Merlin Cryer, and there's like 3 other people.
Would you please,
In 1 incident.
the last page of Plaintiff's Exhibit 2.
Okay.
This is a post on you. This is a post from you on July 20th at 1:39 p.m. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in this, you state, "Did my neighbor do the right thing by taking our dog Nico and tying him up at the ATV parking lot? Is this theft? Is this animal cruelty?" Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Is this the incident that you're referring to where you caught Mr. Carr trespassing?
I don't think so. I mean, I'd have to look at the video. I don't think that was the same video. I'm almost positive. Well, I think it wasn't that one. That bottom left one? No. I don't know for sure. I'd have to watch that video.
Has anybody ever been charged with trespassing on your property?
Unfortunately not. No.
Do you have video footage of Mr. Carr trespassing on your property?
Yes.
Has that been produced?
Would hope so. I don't know.
Did you present that video evidence of Mr. Carr trespassing to the sheriff's department?
Oh yeah, sheriff's department definitely. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I produced it as well.
What was Mr. Carr doing when he was trespassing?
He's picking up some barrels I had sitting there by the fence and tossing them over.
With regards to this incident, are you referring to Mr. Cryer? Strike that. How far across your property line was Mr. Cryer when you strike that? With this incident, how far across your property line was Mr. Cryer?
How far that fence is, about 20, 30 foot maybe.
With regards to the Chad Rohde Facebook page, did you ever edit comments off of the page that you did not like?
No.
Do you recall ever posting the statement that all I can say, I wasn't breaking any law in Austin County, in my opinion, is caging, leashing, or restraining them is considered cruel?
Say that again?
Do you recall ever posting on Facebook the statement, all I can say, I wasn't breaking any law in Austin County, in my opinion, is caging, leashing, or restraining them is considered cruel?
Right.
So anything short of letting your dog roam free on everyone else's property, you consider cruel?
No, not necessarily cruel. Well, it depends. Yeah, having them tied up is what the one I was mainly talking about. I mean, if you got a big enough pin, then no, that's not cruel.
So whereas you have security cameras specifically to prevent trespassing on one hand, on the other hand, you have a clear blatant disregard for every other property owner's rights to the property. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm doubling back here, and again, this is my one opportunity at you, so I've got to make sure I close every door. Some of this is going to be repetitive. Again, I ask you to state each and everything Mr. Cryer has done to harass you and your family.
Alright, well, takes the dogs, drops them off at different places, plays loud music all night, threatens me with a gun, mows down the trees, kills the dogs, shoots his gun outside of his window at 7 a.m. when the kids are out there. Drives by our new house. His mom drive by our new house and his mom call my mom. Texting all the time, calling. Well, no, not necessarily calling. But, I don't know. I guess that's about it.
So as you sit here today, you can't recall anything else that you would consider Mr. Cryer doing that you consider harassment?
Give me a minute, Tom. So let me get you off police reports.
So I'm not asking you to go through the police reports. I'm asking you
Well,
as you
no, I
recall.
can't recall any.
So would you agree that pretty much anything Mr. Cryer does you consider harassment at this point?
That's correct.
And again, would you state each everything you've done to harass Mr. Cryer? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you stated you mowed over his trees.
That's correct.
And that's the only thing that you've done to harass Mr. Cryer.
I can't recall.
Is it true that you're often up at odd hours of the night?
That's probably true. For some people to say it's odd. For me, I don't think so.
Do you think it's normal to drive tractors around at 4 a.m.?
Sure.
Have you ever flown a drone over Mr. Cryer's property?
I don't think it was over his property, no.
Have you ever showered his garage and or shed with shotgun pellets?
Oh, an accident.
How do you do that accidentally?
Shooting up into the air. It was at a bad angle. It was definitely an accident.
Do you recall a situation where you fired a warning shot at Mr. Cryer because you believed Mr. Cryer to be trespassing on a neighbor's property?
No.
Sure.
I remember it exactly. I told the sheriff lady I was shooting my gun. That's all I was doing.
You never stated that it was a warning shot because Mr. Cryer was trespassing on a neighbor's property?
That's what if she put that in there, that report is not right. Just like that, there's plenty of mistakes in the police reports.
If you would, please exhibit, I'm sorry, G, flip to Rohde 0027, it's about midway through.
Okay.
This is a sheriff's report from April 4th, 2014. Second paragraph states, I then made contact with Mr. Rohde. Mr. Rohde advised me that he did shoot his rifle but did not shoot towards Mr. Cryer. Mr. Rohde stated that he saw Mr. Cryer on the neighbor's property and thought if he would just shoot the rifle, he would get off the neighbor's property. Mr. Rohde showed me where he shot at. It was not in the direction of Mr. Cryer. Did I read that correctly?
You read it correctly, yes.
Is this an inaccurate statement by the sheriff of what happened?
Yes.
What is the correct statement?
Correct statement is I just shot my gun.
So when the sheriff states that you stated that he saw Mr. Carr on the neighbor's property and thought if he would just shoot the rifle, he would get off the neighbor's property, that's an incorrect statement?
That's correct. That's not what I told her.
In your opinion, what reason would the sheriff have to put this incorrect statement in this sheriff's report?
Mm-hmm. Same reason why they put all the other stuff that they say incorrectly. They're not good at reports.
Are you calling the sheriff liars?
No. So they're not good at reports.
Well, but if this is an incorrect statement, would you agree that this would be a lie?
No. I can't recall stuff just like they can't recall stuff, and they just put it on there wrong. Ask Deputy Roos, he forgot to put down the whole reason why we called him pointing the gun at him.
You just referred to it as she, sheriff.
I'm talking about Deputy Roos on a other the first or the second report. The first one got lost. The second report that's presented. You asked me if the reason why we called or no. If I have a report on him pointing a gun at me, I said yes. It's on the second one. The first one wasn't reported, so that's actually the second one.
When you referred to a she, who are you referring to?
This was a lady on this report. Deputy Roos was the man on the second report. But this was a lady right here, Vicky. I got confusing you because I switched on to a different report. I'm saying I was trying to explain about their bad reporting. Not that they're liars, that they're bad at reporting. Some reports are obviously nothing to report. I mean, that's bad reporting. They don't care.
So would you please specifically state everything you believe you could have done to be a more responsible pet owner?
I could have kept them tied up in the inside of a pen.
Is that it?
Probably. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. No? See any other?
Specifically state what it would take for you to end this feud.
Better lawyer? I don't know. I don't know what I ended.
What was the last?
A better lawyer? I have no idea. I thought moving twice would do it. There would be some stuff going on.
Would you agree that perhaps posting this stuff on Facebook might be the reason this feud is ongoing?
Yeah, definitely. I got sued over it.
Do you understand that only telling a portion of a story can be considered defamatory?
Sure. Yes. No, actually, I don't. I thought defamatory was just saying something bad about somebody. I guess that could include that.
Defamatory is the publication of false statements,
Okay.
including telling only a portion of the story such that the story you're telling is not true.
I got you.
Do you understand that if any of your posted statements are shown to be false, that you are in fact liable for defamation?
Yes.
Do you agree that your Facebook posts were designed to indicate that Mr. Cryer is a psychopath?
No, I didn't design it that way.
Do you agree that your Facebook post was designed to indicate that Mr. Cryer has committed multiple crimes?
No, that's not the way it was designed. I was just saying what happened. If that's.
I can reword it. Do you agree that your Facebook posts tend to indicate that Mr. Cryer has committed multiple crimes?
Yes, I guess.
Would you agree that your Facebook posts tend to indicate that Mr. Cryer has committed theft?
I mean, I didn't indicate anything really. I said, is it theft or is this wrong or something like that? It was more. I can't say it wasn't indicating it because I think, yeah, it was. They do indicate that, but that's not my opinion to make. I mean, yeah, if you want my opinion, then yes. That's what they were indicating.
Would you agree that your Facebook posts tend to indicate that Mr. Cryer is an animal murderer?
I think so, yes. If you're asking me, I don't know what somebody else might think. Ask them.
Would you state specifically that what Mr. Cryer has done to continue terrorizing and harassing your family?
Continue. Wait, from what point?
Isn't Mr. Cryer continuing to terrorize and harass your family?
Today? Is that what you mean?
Do you believe that Mr. Cryer is... Strike that. Is Mr. Cryer currently terrorizing and harassing your family?
Currently? I mean, he's not really harassing me. He's still breaking the rules from what the sheriff told him.
Would you please explain what you mean?
I was driving by and honking and stuff at the if he sees me anywhere, waving and whatever he does.
Did you ever drive by and wave at him and honk?
No. Try to ignore him.
What was the last thing Mr. Cryer did to terrorize or harass your family?
He just did the drive-by and honking thing just a few days ago.
Sir, didn't you testify earlier that that was the reason why you moved from the second location to the third location?
That's the reason why I moved from the second location.
And that was just a few days ago?
No.
So he's done it at your house since?
No, not at my house. Well, out there in 1010 Hall Road.
So I'm asking you what he's done to terrorize and harass your family.
You said me or my family?
I'm asking you now. Okay, then I'll rephrase it and I'll ask you now. What has Mr. Cryer done?
Hmm.
What was the last thing Mr. Cryer did to
Last thing?
terrorize or harass your family?
I think it was probably his mother, or well, I guess whenever he texted Crystal or I can't remember. Yeah, he texted me too. I think whenever after his mother came, that's what it was.
How long ago was that?
Don't catch me in a lie. Never mind, yeah. See, I forgot about this whole thing. Yeah. Just harassing my realtor company.
When did that take place?
June 1st, 2014.
Would you please explain to me why it is, in your opinion, everything Mr. Cryer does is harassment, whereas everything you do is not harassment?
I never said that. I said everything he does is harassment. I didn't say everything I do is not harassment.
Do you believe that the Facebook post would be considered harassment?
No.
You don't believe that the Sparky Doodle Facebook post was harassing Mr. Cryer?
No.
How so?
Because I was just stating what happened, stating some facts.
What's your definition of harassment?
Doing something to somebody that they don't want them being done that they're not supposed to be doing.
Were you supposed to be posting this Facebook post?
Yeah. Letting everybody know. Wasn't not supposed to be.
Well, didn't the court?
No,
Didn't the judge sign an injunction requiring you to remove the Facebook post?
No, he sure didn't.
Are you sure about that?
Pretty sure he crossed those all out. He said to remove the ones that were harassing, which were none of them, or whatever ones he said to. If he did say to remove them, or said that I couldn't post any.
What's your understanding of the current injunction that's in place?
I don't remember. I'll go ahead and put the Facebook thing back up as soon as we leave here. I'm not worried about that.
So is your testimony today that you're threatening to put the Facebook post back up?
No, I'm saying I didn't do anything wrong then, and I'll do it again because I'm not worried. I didn't do anything wrong. You were insinuating that I took something down because I was doing something wrong. That's not the case.
Would you agree that your intent with the Facebook post was to harm the character and reputation of Mr. Cryer?
No.
Would you agree that the Facebook post did in fact harm the character and reputation of Mr. Cryer?
Mm-hmm.
Well, sir, didn't you state that your intent was to show everybody the kind of person that he was?
That's right.
Wouldn't that in fact damage his character and reputation?
Not if he wouldn't do anything bad.
I'm objecting on response. Sir, you testified that your intent was to show people the kind of person that he was.
Yes.
What kind of person do you believe Mr. Cryer to be?
A lot worse than what I posted on here. But yeah, he was a puppy killer, and he was stealing dogs and tying them out at HEB, and he's crazy. And that Austin County sheriffs are horrible at their jobs.
Would you consider the statement you just made to be of good character or bad character?
Bad character. Two of them, Austin County sheriffs, too.
Do you agree that sending Mr. Cryer's company that email was intended to lower his company's opinion of him?
No.
How exactly can you possibly dispute that?
Because that's not what I intended to do. I intended to warn the company. That's it. It's their opinion.
Warn them of the quality of employee that they had in Mr. Cryer, is that correct?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
In your opinion, do you believe the general public would be okay with having their home and backyard under constant surveillance?
The general public, I don't know. Some people would, some people wouldn't care.
Do you believe what somebody does on their own property or in their own backyard to be a part of their public or private life?
It's their private life. I know what you want me to say, but that's fine. That doesn't mean I don't care. I mean, yes, it's private life. At the same time, it's public life too. It wasn't against the law, so I can believe whatever. What does that prove? I don't understand that reasoning behind it, but yeah.
Is that your complete answer?
Yeah, that's my complete answer. You already asked me if I didn't like it, what's the difference between binoculars and cameras.
Your point being?
Point is that, yeah, I did it to him and he did it to me. What's the difference?
Has he posted video of what you're doing at your home online?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Have you seen any footage of?
No, I haven't seen it.
You understand the binocular doesn't record, correct?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it looked like binoculars, but yeah.
Would you agree that shooting or killing a dog is highly offensive to a reasonable person?
Say that again. I was still thinking about your last question. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna object and non-responsive and remind you that you're under the duty to be cooperative and non-evasive and non-combative. You understand that?
I'm sorry if I was.
Would you agree that shooting and or killing a dog is highly offensive to a reasonable person?
Yes. To some people it is, some people it's not.
Do you believe that shooting a dog to protect livestock is a legitimate public concern?
Public concern? I mean, I can't answer for the general public. I say yes, some people are concerned about it. people more concerned about their dogs. I don't know. Can't answer that.
Where are we at on time?
5 hours.
Okay, let's take a 15-minute break and we'll finish up.
Thank you. I was fixing to ask you
What? For a break?
for a break.